So today I'm going to talk about John Stuart Mill's concept of utilitarianism. So John Stuart Mill's idea of utilitarianism is about doing what brings the greatest happiness to the greatest number of people. For Mill, happiness means pleasure and the absence of pain, while unhappiness means pain and lack of pleasure. So he believes that all human actions aim toward being happy and that morality should be judged by the results or consequences of what we do. So, in simpler terms, if an action makes people happy, then it is good. If it causes more harm or pain, then it is bad. So, the difference between Mill's and Bentham's version of utilitarianism is that Bentham thought that all pleasures were equal. The only thing that mattered is how much pleasure you got, but Mill disagreed and said that some pleasures are higher or more valuable than others. For for example, higher pleasures like learning, helping others, or simply just using your mind, while lower pleasures are like eating, resting, or physical comfort. Well, Mill believed that people who experience both kind of pleasure would naturally prefer the higher pleasures because they give a deeper sense of happiness and dignity. Well, utilitarianism encourages people to think beyond themselves and consider what benefits for everyone. It gives practical guide for decision making in choosing the action that brings the most happiness and least harm. It also promotes common good and supports kindness, compassion, and social awareness. However, utilitarianism also has its weaknesses. Sometimes it can justify questionable actions if they result in greater happiness. For example, like lying or sacrificing one person for many, as long as it benefits more people overall. This makes it hard to balance justice and fairness with focusing only on outcomes. Now, like sometimes how utilitarianism applies in real life. So we can apply this in the most common one is in healthcare. So doctors might use utilitarian reasoning when deciding how to allocate limited resources, helping those who can recover and benefit the most. In everyday life also as a citizen, um, helping in the community projects, choosing eco-friendly habits, doing small things that make others happy even it takes effort. These actions reflects Mill's idea of promoting the greater good and improving overall well-being. So, to conclude that, Mill's utilitarianism teaches us to look beyond our own happiness and act in ways that benefit more people. It may not solve every moral dilemma perfectly, but it offers a valuable way to think about how much we live ethically and compassionately. In the end, it reminds us that doing good means doing what spreads and most happiness, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. Thank you.